Hey everyone, welcome to Polar Pain Gaming. I'm Kyle. I'm doing an event report. Um, this is for the Med City Conflict Storm the Castle that I recently attended in Rochester. So I'm going to be going through briefly my 4 rounds that I played there and just rocking through those games. If you want to see the lists for my opponents, I'll link the Longshanks event, but I'm not going to do a real comprehensive look at those. I may mention elements of them, or yeah, if I don't mention the whole thing, you can see it in the Longshanks event if you want to. But we're going to start things off looking at my list. So I'm playing kind of a mobility style list. It's my favorite thing to do. So first up, got this Polymarch Warlord. I've got Primodynamic Globe because I have no mages or priests or anything in my list, so this is helping me get some interference going in the list. I have Inscription of Lighter Alloys. This is pretty key to how I like to play. He is in this Phalangites brick with the Dorlotties and Sacred Band Veterans. It is 9 total stands. This is a little on the high side, but this is to help ensure that I can just absolutely slam through whatever I hit. Got an Itbarkos, 2 MSUs of CompCav, nothing, no upgrades there. I've got 6 total Scorpios Chariots, Aristarch, no upgrades, Thorkides with an Andromachos and a Minotaur. So let's take a look at how this played. So round one. Round one, I'm playing against Nate. Nate was very new. I think this was his first game playing Dwagom. He's playing a tempered list with a Steel Shaper Warlord. So my pictures are the end of each round. There's a lot of glare. These are vinyl mats, so you're going to see a lot of glare on the tables, unfortunately. Here we have, this is ice. So it's water, hindering, and dangerous. This right here is water. We got 2 hills. They're size 2. We've got forest and forest. So they're obscuring, size 3, hindering. And then we have a building here, and then there's another one right here, a little bit off of my camera angle there. And we are playing Breakout. This objective is friendly to me, and this is the one that I need to kill. Very cool. So end of turn 1. I have my Thorkides here. My idea was he's got some Fireforged and some not some Hold Ballastae. No, that is what they're called, Hold Ballastae, which are right here. I made sure that he deployed them first, so I play my character, I strat stack, and then I play my regiment. So long as he only has 2 cards, it guarantees that he marches onto the field before me. He puts them here behind this hill. Thorkides, apparently my my camera app decided to just crash. So I don't know how long it was like that. We'll figure it out. As I was discussing, though, he's got Hold Ballastae here. I respond with my Thorkides in this little forest here. This way, I'm thinking I can come and hit this marker, or I can come and engage these Hold Ballastae, depending on if they want to push onto this hill or what. Thorkides, Aristarch's give them untouchable if he can act first. They're D2 against the Hold Ballastae because I got armor piercing, so I'll counter out my shields. But I have Tenacious 1 against shooting, so I'm feeling pretty good about that. Plus being in a forest, depending on how next turn goes, should be fine, right? Next turn. So again, doing end of turn stuff. This was a few days ago. My memory might be a little foggy. I auto on my Phalangites, fail every single other reinforcement roll. He gets on initiates with an Ardent. He's got, shoot, I forgot if these are, yeah, these are Flame Berserkers here, and then we have some Fireforged with his Steel Shaper Warlord. I pushed my Thor keys up to here from the forest. Being that he's a newer player, I kind of bullied him a bit in this game. I pushed him up here so that he couldn't see unless he got on the hill. And I measured, I knew if he got on the hill, I would be within auto charge range of him. So I pushed up to the base of the hill to try to bait him onto the hill. He did. So he moved up, shot me. I lost a stand. Not bad. So my plan next turn is maybe he shoots me first again, but I'm going to delete that regiment with the Thor keys and probably still have all three of these front stands left, which is a trade I'm willing to do. Still no scoring. Into turn 2. I might have been able to get one of these side zones with a reinforcement. For my reinforcement line of Thor keys, like if I had a chariot, I think they can reach that zone. So going into end of turn 3 here. All right, so I believe I went first. I'm pretty confident I went first. Thor keys come up here. Delete the those hold ballistae. I've got I'm entouraging off the Aristarch, so I've got Flurry from the Andromarchos. He manages to do 2 wounds in die fighting from his hold raw there. His initiates charge this marker. I get a chariot on from reinforcement line because that was about here. Beginning of the turn. Getting onto the zone, I push him up so that these Magma Forge that come on, if they charge me, they're going to be in my front, and they're not going to be on the zone. So I'm trying to screen him off the zones. He's got more initiates here that respond here to my Thorkites. This is 2 regiments. So he's got Hold Thanes here, Fireforged here. This is more Hold Thanes. He kept his Flame Berserkers here. He advanced his Fireforged up. And then that was before my Phalanges move. My Phalanges moved last. He's got a Stoneforged here. I put a Chariot here. I'm trying to pull him to me. So then I've got my Companion Cav here. The idea is I pull whatever to me. The Phalanges can charge it, or the Comp Cav can charge it. Again, my Phalanges move end of turn. I get 1 stand on. This hill is actually 3D, so it's really hard to put regiments cleanly on them. So this auxiliary stand here, let me erase some of this other stuff. That auxiliary stand is the corner of my regiment. That stand is actually there, and the rest is in line with them. So if we need to measure anything, it's based off of this stand. So I get both these zones. He's got initiates trying to chew on this marker. I actually killed a stand that was here from these 2 chariots. March volleying onto the table. And then I get these companion cav here. As I'm evaluating, I can shift this way, or I can come and start hitting this marker, or I can follow up behind the Thorkites should they die. So in that turn, 7 points, because I've got 2 zones to 0. Going into turn 4, this gets spicy. So I decide, beginning of turn 3, this is my supremacy turn. I want to eliminate his warlord. He's generating tokens. He can really juice up those Fireforged. So I supremacy, beginning of turn 4. These guys come in. I didn't even need to use lighter alloys. I was in regular phalanx range. and I just absolutely delete that Fireforge regiment. I didn't take any wounds in response to die fighting, so kill his warlord. Um, my Thorakides then dove these Thanes. I did this to try to tie him up, and I did. I predicted that pretty well. Um, he collapsed with his initiates this way. He collapsed with his Thanes this way. He shot them with the Fireforged. I don't remember what all, like what the order of this was here, but I lost a stand, and then the Thyrian has 1 wound left. So I only took 10 wounds. Or no, because those Thorkides had wounds on them, so I took 8 wounds from 4 regiments collapsing on me, which is insane. Um, Partly, these Thanes charged through this forest, so they didn't get inspired. Initiates just don't hit very hard. Um, the other Thanes I had killed a stand of, and Fireforge just kind of whiffed. Or I think they may have even shot me at me before I moved up, so I wasn't in effective range. I don't remember exactly. I just remember the door keys lasted longer than they should have. I then countercharged these initiates with my companion cav, and again, 3D hill. I couldn't really put them where they're supposed to be, so this is more where they're at. Killed 2 of the stands with the companion cav charge. The chariot that was originally here drove this way. I think he also, yeah, so I remember. So he shot at the backside of these guys, did some wounds. The companion cav did a march charge here. And then his magma forged, which were here, reformed and charged into the side of this chariot, which was, I wanted that to happen. I absolutely wanted that to happen because that is less time that he is looking towards this zone. So I've stalled him out significantly on getting this zone. And then I followed up with another chariot. Oh, wrong button. Cruising up the reinforcement line to here. Wasn't able to shoot anything, doesn't need to. He's on the zone. And guess what? Next turn, he's going to follow up around here to keep harassing these Magma Forged. Because I still have, I think, 1 more chariot to arrive this turn. I think this Stoneforged failed to charge me in the front. I think he failed to roll. Berserkers charged in. They did like 2 wounds. So something I did wrong this game. These companion cav are now in a really awkward spot. I was 3 wide. I can't really do anything. I'm stuck behind my phalanges now. That was an error on my part. So what I did is I reformed. So now I'm in a 2x2 column. And I attempted to charge this guy. I think I needed a 6. Surprise, failed. Move forward 1 inch. But it was worth trying on reroll. They're not really doing anything else anyway. Phalanges have the zone locked down. Brought another chariot up the middle. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I have 1 more chariot to arrive. So that is. Oh, right. Of course, these 2 chariots drove up the middle. I don't remember if I already said that. I think they also chewed at the initiates because they're a soft target. Yeah, so end of turn 4, 16-0. All right. This is pretty much game at this point. I'll probably wrap it up after this round. We played up to round 6 before we ran out of time. My chariot's in the middle. Chewed up this marker. So it took all 3 to do it, which is fine. 1's peeling off this way, out of sight of these guys. This one came up from here, and then this one peeled off this way to get this zone. I've lost track of where the other chariot is. Maybe I lost it earlier. I don't know. Um, he kills this chariot with the magma forge, and then reforms, turn around. I think I volleyed and charged him, keeping them pinned, making that zone mine. Um, Thorakides died from these things on the side. Companion Cav got chewed up by Fireforged. Um, or the Initiates. I don't really remember. I don't remember this game super well. Charged in to pin those Fireforged. So basically, I've tied him up in this middle. I'm making a mess with these lines. I tied him up in the middle for so long that just absolutely neutered his ability to do anything. His units are all stuck on each other. They're all facing the wrong way. I'm abusing a newer player. Um, the Flame Berserkers died. I'd split my attacks into Stoneforge and them with my Phalangiti block. Comp Cab charge in. He's sitting on 14 wounds by the end of this round. He's not long for this game. So basically what happens next turn, he dies to Phalangites. The Phalangites just sit here. Comp Cab starts swinging around. Chariots are chewing up this in the middle. This one probably dies. That's it. Our game went to time. Again, he's a newer player, so he was referencing rules a lot, really, which was fine. Like I don't mind helping out a newer player learn the game during a tournament, especially when I'm abusing them like this. Like this 37-0, he was shut out. I'm not trying to make people have a bad time, but I am trying to win. So I'm not going to be like, hey man, you need to keep the game moving when I've already won. But yeah, other than being new, like he was fine to play with too. Great guy. All right, game number 2. I am playing Logan, who is playing a Tribes Wadroon list. Logan told me he hadn't played in a while. He said it had been months. So, end of turn 1, same thing. He's only got 1 card. I've got 2 cards, so I guarantee that he comes on first before I act. He gets his Raptors set up. He's got 4 of them here. My thought with putting my Thor keys over here is I'm either going to pull the Raptors off to the side here, where I can more easily deal with them with oncoming chariots, or I get him to ignore me, like maybe he goes and starts getting these markers, or he just starts staying up in the middle, in which case I will turn around and flank charge him. That's my thought here. Terrain's basically the same. This thing in the middle is ice again, so that's the dangerous water hindering. Turn 2. So, this is very interesting. He swung his Raptors and then shot the marker here. That was the very first thing he did. I responded by I fluid my Thorakides and I tried to charge here. I think it's either a 5 or a 6 I needed, but it was like I'm at no risk if I fail this charge, because then I can just fluid and try again. Failed the charge, got a 1. Whatever. No big deal. No big loss to me. He's got veterans here up on this hill, and he's got a stack of Braves with a Scion of Conquest, who is his warlord, onto this objective marker here. Oh, that's Forlorn Hope, right? So there's dead zone of reinforcement line in the middle. Both these markers are neutral. Cool. Continue on. I set up a chariot here, try to bait these raptors. Just enough that they would not be inspired. There should be enough that he'd hit the hindering. That's how I set it up. But I'm also on the zone. So again, if this is a try to take the heat off these Thor keys, because he could also fluid and hit me. So I'm trying to take his attention off of that. And then if he does, then I can fluid and hit him. Or I've got this Phalangiti brick that I put here. Double companion cav. I like backing them up with each other when I've got a big open spot on the table like this. No terrain, like I can abuse that. So I'm holding 2, he's holding 1, and then you can see I've got a chariot here as well. Cool. So end of that turn for 2. Next turn. So very first thing I do, I try again for this charge. I wipe out the raptors. They break shatter. He responds by putting these veterans up onto this zone. This chariot here comes up, volleys into them, takes a few wounds off of them. Let's see. That's really the only engagement that happened this turn. He pulls a Tauntor here. These are Chosen of Death with a Scion of Death here. Hard to see. So he's a beautiful. He does beautiful work on these miniatures, but most of them are in progress, as you can see, with this just like base coating and dry brush, which still looks amazing in person. Obviously, it's kind of hard to see on the picture. And then he's got more veterans here, followed up by Warbred, just stacked right behind them, which is great for me. So I start pushing up with my companion cav, getting ready to stick into these veterans and tie up the Warbred or pin the Warbred behind them. I've got a chariot here. I think I took some shots and like did no damage or something. And then I'm putting all the heat with my follow-up chariots here in the middle, and I have one more to arrive. I loved that he put his Tauntor here, because this is where my brick is. This is like the thing I have to deal with this Tauntor is this brick. So this is great news for me. I'm willing to put these Thorakites here to sacrifice, try to get this Tauntor baited out. I am a little worried about these Chosen of Death more than the Tauntor. I'd rather my brick face that Tauntor. But as we'll see next turn, that kind of evolves. So we're both on 2 zones. Oh, that's right. I remember. The marker was here. That's why these 3 chariots are here. They all came and popped that marker. And then he charged his Braves here into that marker, killing it. Because he's got impact, he's got clash and trample. Yeah. Next turn. Oh gosh, that's not right. Hold on, let's fix that. I don't know why that picture was sideways, but you got to experience it real time. So, a lot has changed in this. Well, let's actually, you know what? Let's go back to that previous for a second. So, what happened in the initial engagement? I believe I won the roll-off. My Thorakites come, delete these veterans. He then counters with his Chosen of Death, deletes my Thorakites. Excellent for me. So let's go back to the other picture. I then pull a chariot off over here, and I think I shot at the Tauntor, got it to charge me, which was like perfect. That is the best thing that could happen. Hold on, I need to go back to the other picture for a second. Yeah, so the veterans pull up to here. I charge with Comp Cav. I don't fully kill them. Excellent. Warbred are stuck, so they just kind of push up as much as they can, and I get ready to charge them with these Comp Cav. Even though I'm going to lose the impacts, I'm still going to mess them up with a clash because I have the Iparkos here. I can direct orders and be inspired anyway. I start force concentrating all these chariots, and I start picking off Brave Stance. So he's lost 2, and then he's got finally a Regiment of Blooded is the last to arrive for him. I've got another chariot coming up here to help me harass this Tauntor, and it's looking great. Yeah. So again, we are at 15-3 for score. Wait, what turn? I've lost track of what turn this is. Yeah, this is end of turn. End of turn 3. No, gosh, I don't know. Man, I don't know. End of turn 3 is 15-13. End of turn 4 was 23-13. It has to be end of turn 4 because this is a heavy. I don't know why I'm having such an issue with this. Bear with me. All right. So, chariots, delete the Braves. My comp cav charge in here and do better than expected. Delete the Warbred. This comp cav deleted the veterans. I think the Braves are dead too. Like it's. Oh, I remember why. Not Braves, Blooded. The Blooded charged my Phalangites, did no damage. I direct orders, clash, kill them, reform. Um, his Tauntaur killed that chariot into this one. Fine. This is game here. Next turn, I Supremacy, charge clash to Tauntaur, wipe it out, and he's got nothing left. So another bully game, but not. He did score. So final score was 83-13. Yeah, he like I said, he hadn't been playing a few months. He was out of practice. He wasn't even aware of the fluid changes. Hence why you saw his Raptors 4 stacked wide. So yeah, rough game for him. Next game. All right, starting to get hairy now. So I'm 2-0. This is day 2. My opponent Tony is also 2-0. So stakes are getting higher. He is playing a Nord's Monster Mash. So he's got two. What do you have? 7 giants total because he had 2 Cedars, 3 Mountain Jotnars. No, I think it was 4. 4 Mountain. Yeah, 4 Mountain Jotnars, 1 Ice Jotnar, and then he had a regiment of 4 Bow Chosen with a Konagir and what is it called? The Naglfar, where he has Tenacious 3 against shooting. Terrible for me. We're playing on Bulwark. So this is friendly to me. This is when I have to kill. Objective markers, and then we got a neutral one in the middle. We have ice, forest, building, hill, and then we have fog. So that is water and obscuring. So end of turn 1. Interesting thing Tony does. He chooses to use his auto reinforce to delay his Bow Chosen. I asked him about this, and he said he likes to counter what his opponent's doing, and he doesn't like them on the table because he's worried about tripping up the Jotnar coming on. I get it. Yeah. So I this is end of turn 1, and he's already starting turn 2 because I was a little taken aback by that. I made a little bit of a mistake here because I decided to fluid my Thor keys after I brought them on. Terrible idea. I don't know what I was really thinking with this, and I still don't know. But I fluid it to, I guess, line up. But what that did was made it so my reinforcement line was further back, because now my trailing edge is here when it could have been here, roughly. And it made it so that if I auto on a chariot, I can no longer reach this zone from my reinforcement line. So that was an error on my part. Yeah, that's end of turn 1. Turn 2, I decide I'm going to charge this. I'm going to start chewing on it. So he's got Mountain Jotnar, Mountain Jotnar, Mountain Jotnar. Um, I auto my brick on because they're slow to deploy initially, and I got to start killing giants. So they're here. This is another mistake I made. Compcav here, getting ready to utilize this obscuring depending on where his bow chosen arrive, which they failed the reinforcement roll this turn. And I've got Compcav here, Chariot here, start picking at this marker as well. Because I don't want my Thorakides stuck there. So end of turn 2, still no points, because I failed to get on this objective, and this one still got a marker on it. Turn 4, bow chosen arrive automatically. The first thing I do is I direct orders clashed this marker, my Thorakides, and then I backed up. I did not want them getting hit by a Jotnar first thing. Let's see, there's a bit that happened here. So you had this Mountain Jotnar come this way. This one came up here, got his little bitty toe on there. Bow chosen moved up. I start reinforcement lining chariots on here. They start tagging this Mountain Jotnar. Headphones just died. Back to it. I bring up this chariot. So I'm trying to shield the zone. But more than that, I'm trying to get this Jotnar to angle this way so that my Thorakides can collapse on its flank. I don't remember exactly how many wounds this Jotnar has, but he's close to dying. So I'm feeling good that my chariots will finish him off. Oh gosh, wrong button. This giant comes up. He didn't toe the zone. I don't remember why. But I decided, and he had all acted at this point. He's got ice here. He's got cedar here, cedar here. Got all his heavies on this turn. I decide I've got an opportunity here. So I march charge this guy in the side. Because I've got an opportunity to keep him off this marker for a long time. And now we're coming back to the error I made. The Phalange brick here, they would get stuck on this marker. And that's real bad. So I had to get them to the side. Part of the reason I decided to dive this giant was because I'm trying to get these guys through here, and I don't need this giant coming in and hitting my flank. I also put this chariot here to help distract from that, because he could potentially exploit this error pretty heavily if I'm not careful. Because let's assume he wins the roll-off. This guy, well, either of them, could hit these Compcav, obliterate them, free up this Mountain Jotnar, and now he can come hit my Phalanges in the side. And that is just the worst thing that could happen to me. So, I'm trying to use this chariot to distract him. I did successfully get more mediums on this zone than him. So I've got 7 to his 0 because I also killed the marker. This is also, the points alternate. So this zone was worth 4 this turn. So I was more willing to dive for it and take it from him. Yeah. Turn 4. A lot happened this turn. In fact, I wish I had taken a picture of part of it. So I managed to kill both these Mountain Jotnar. The one, so this chariot got to move and shoot before it got hit. I think it got charged in the, no, it got charged in the front. It survived on 1 wound. these chariots are just peppering things. Well, not that thing. They're peppering giants. Um, my Thor keys managed to finish off this giant here, which surprised me. So I am looking really good on that flank. Um, so he moved in with his Ice Jotnar in the back of the Conquest, killed them. But I think this Mountain Jotnar acted first and only killed two. Yeah, this one acted first, only killed two stands. So the ice comes in, impact kills them, and then he backs up. So he's got a lane. So let me draw this out a little bit. So he backed up to about here, so that this cedar would have a lane to punch through. And he's equipped with an axe, so he would one round, or he in one hit he'd kill that marker. If you recall, I had a chariot here to try and distract this Mountain Jotnar if he got free. I march charged the Ice Jotnar so that I ended right like this, blocking this cedar from getting that marker. Because my Fallen Deities are almost always bottom of my stack. These chariots move up. They shoot this this Ice Jotnar a bit. He collapses on chariot with the cedar. It does take a clash to kill it. Chariot's done its job beautifully. These guys come up and eliminate the Ice Jotnar, and guess what time it is? It's time for Supremacy. So end of this round is 14-3 because, oh yeah, this guy killed that marker and then kept turning. Oh, yeah, he kept turning. He's got an unfortunate story later. Yeah. So it's Supremacy time. Bam. It's getting ugly. Ice Supremacy, I completely eliminate that guy. It's looking real bad for him over here. This Jotnar comes around, impacts that. This guy failed a charge against this chariot and went 1 inch. It was very sad. So this guy comes in and kills the chariot that's on that one last wound and gets onto the point. My Thor keys before that happened had gone to tie up the bow chosen because my chariots aren't going to do a thing to it with Naglfar or whatever it's called, Tenacious Ring at shooting. Chariots coming around. I can't stop him from scoring, so I'm just going to harass him. This one turns around. So chariots are harassing, doing damage to this guy while trying to get him to come off the zone. So I'm off both zones, so I don't score anything this turn. But he's on the zone that's not worth as much this turn, so he only gets 2 points. So we're looking at 14-5 at the end of this turn. Which is turn 5. Turn 6. He gets through the marker. He charges this chariot. This chariot comes through. Phalangites get set up with a charge. They don't do any damage to him. Because I think I had to... Well, I need to go back to the picture because I think I had to reform. Yeah, you can see I'm facing out this way, so I have to reform, charge him. That's fine. He turns this cedar around. Chariots continue to harass. His bow chosen killed my Thorakides. This giant's almost dead now. So soon my worries will be over about him scoring over here. So this game's wrapping up. 14-9. I can read this. 16-9. 16-9 out of this turn because I've got this zone. What a surprise. I kill this guy. I turn. His cedar comes in. I think he kills... Oh no, he didn't. He hasn't killed any stands yet. I'm continuing to harass these things with my chariots. I've got more stands on here than he does. So I score that zone. I'm just gonna wrap this up real quick. I kill all the scoring stuff. We talk it out at this point. Um, my worst case scenario, this chariot charges into the flank here, keeps them occupied for a turn. This guy comes up. This guy comes up. They just stay here. They're slower than the chariots. So I just drip feed him chariots while I have a chariot staying on the zone for the rest of the game. And that is it. So final score of that one was 35 to 14. Yeah, so part of my design with this list was to be able to one-round monsters with that Fallon GD brick, and it absolutely does. And then chariots are typically able um, to take on the other ones, especially with the help of Comp Cav, as long as it's not a spider. But yeah, that's end of round 3. All right, last round, round 4. I'm playing against Apex Chinchilla. He is playing a speakers list with 6 birds, 2 wing lords, and 4 quaddles. He also has 2 sets of hunting pack, regiment raptor riders, and thunder riders with chieftain. This one, he's got more lights than me. He fails one of them. Got ice, ice, forest, forest, hill, hill, building, building. And when I looked at this terrain, I was like, this is going to be my strong side. Hill's probably not going to do a whole lot. Forest will, because he's got a lot of chip shooting. This is really open, and it's got the dangerous water that's hindering, and I don't like that. So in my mind, I pretty much committed my comp cav to the right side, and then Thor keys didn't matter as much, but he put his raptors here, or sorry, his hunting pack here, and I wanted to counter that. I don't want these hunting pack getting into anything else. They tend to bounce off of the front of Thor keys, so that's what I'm trying to get him to pull into. Round 2. So this one is a wing lord. The other 2 are quaddles. I get a chariot towing up from reinforcement line. He gets a quaddle towing up from reinforcement line. He was real worried about these Thorketes, so he stayed off, which was I appreciated. I brought my comp cav up here. I'm looking to funnel this way or counter a charge this way. I put my block here behind the hill, thinking like, if he tries to poke me with shooting raptors, that'll hide me. Looking back, this was a huge mistake, which we will get into later. And then he's got more hunting pack over here. So we score 1-1. Turn 3. A lot happens. His hunting pack did dive, took out a stand of Thorketes. I countered with Comp Cav, wiped him out. He then countered with his raptors, only killed 1 horse. Oh no, sorry, 2 horses, because this is my Ipercross, so they're broken. He... so much happened here. He brought a quaddle down here, killed my chariot. My freed up Thorketes from those hunting pack, that's why I charged with the Comp Cav. Flank charged, and then fluid reformed, because they killed that quaddle. So I have stopped him from scoring this, because I've got more contesting than he has seizing. Brought in the chariot here to start chipping away at stuff on this side. Reinforced chariot, Comp Cav to counter through this lane. Um, Phalangides got up onto this hill. They're not moving fast because I didn't know which way to go yet. Um, and he was staying out the zone, so he's trying to stay out of range of me. And I can't commit to either of these yet because it'll expose my flank to the other. I think I've got another chariot over here off screen, or maybe I haven't gotten it. No, I haven't got another one yet. So this chariot is he's just playing safe. He's trying to zone over here so he doesn't just sweep me on that side. And it's working because he's committed a Wing Lord, a Quaddle, and Hunting Pack, and he is taking the zone, but they're kind of hanging back away from this chariot, and they also can't dive it because I still have three other chariots. No, sorry, two other chariots to come on. He doesn't know where they're going. He can't overcommit. He needs the Hunting Pack to keep these Phalangides at bay, and he doesn't want to come off that zone. So he scores that turn, and I don't. 2-1. Oh boy. This is a rapidly evolving game, so this is hard to keep track of. Raptors finish off these comp cav. And then they backed up. So I countercharge the Raptors. He swung. So my Thorakites, I think, killed the other Quaddle. No. No, they didn't. The Quaddle killed them. They might have done some damage. Sorry, man, this is a lot. I had a Chariot come up here. The Thunder Riders, while the Quaddle was still alive, came, knocked it out. They took a bunch of wounds from going through the ice. And I get this Chariot up here, so I take the zone back. Because I've got two scoring stands, or I thought I took it back, but he's got his stand here is just barely on. But those Thunder Riders are now quite out of position. And then I get my two other chariots here. I start picking at these Hunting Pack, but I do like no damage, and it was so infuriating. But now I've got kind of a kill box to start picking at this. Meanwhile, Phalangidi Brick has to and has committed up this center with a march charge. So I've committed my supremacy turn because I cannot afford to lose supremacy and have this Wing Lord hit me in the flank. So yeah, so I have supremacy. I kill that thing. I reform. He flies past me. Very frustrating. Oh, sorry. That turn was 3-3. Raptors kill my comp cav. Thunder Riders turn and kill that chariot. I'm looking real sad over here. I pick off a stand of Hunting Pack. They commit. They're kind of now out of commission because they're in water. And they didn't. I don't know if they did any wounds to this chariot. I think they just march charged it. I volley charged to pin this guy here and kind of gum him up. I'm in a really bad state now with this Wing Lord passing me. I was planning to just start cutting through this way and leaving this. And this is where the game fell apart. And this is where I said I made a mistake. Because my thought was punch, sweep, and he's just outmaneuvering me. So now we're looking at 5-3. He's starting to pull ahead. I kill another Quaddle here. He's still scoring this. He's collapsed over here. I'm down to 2 chariots in my Phalangidi block. 3 scoring regiments. The score is now 9-4 end of this turn. That is real rough. And I have to do like a Hail Mary at this point. I have one turn left to try to make something happen. So my plan is I got to commit commit the block this way, whether I march charge or whatever. I have to get this zone locked down. I can survive engagement with that thing, and then I need to get a chariot over here. But sadly, what happens? Oh gosh, why? He got his raptors onto the zone, 2 of them. So I needed to shoot and kill both. Failed to kill both, so I was like, there's no point getting on the zone then. I'm just going to stay here. The game's over at this point. I do indeed march charge this guy after he kills another chariot. So I'm down to 2 scoring regiments, and I'm behind on score. 9-4. So we just talked it out at this point. I hold this zone, and then he holds both of these. There's nothing I can do about it. So my big mistake. My big mistake, let's go back, was this. This right here. This block, I should have recognized he's got a more maneuverable list than me. This block should have been over here. This block should have been over here, taking control of this and this side of the table, and then sweeping through. Because it will kill literally everything he has. And meanwhile, I lose very little to attrition unless he gets to shooting me a lot, but he can't afford that because I have more army than just this. But that was my big mistake. I did decline flank, but this block, my most pivotal piece and probably least maneuverable, should have been on the edge to just sweep through the table. Instead, I put up the middle, and he very wisely got me to first split my attention here, and then later split my attention here. So now that I've punched up the middle, I'm needed both directions. That's what I got. This is us after the fact. Good looking lads. Yeah, so this is my first event report. I didn't have so much plan going into it. Let me know if it was too rambly or whatever. If you got questions about the games, hit me with it. I'm just kind of trying to go back through process. Like, I do this for me as much as I do it to try to inform and help the audience out. Just being reflective through your games, trying to figure out what you did wrong, what your opponents did wrong. Help your opponents out too, after the game. Let them know things you identified that you think they did wrong, because ultimately you want to help other people grow too. It's much more enjoyable when you play an equally skill matched player. So if you're not skill matched, try to help them so that next time, you are. Yeah. That's what I got. Again, hope you enjoyed it.